it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm.
All right. So today we're going to take a look at this presidential action, which initiates the hiring freeze for federal employees. So it says here, as a part of this freeze, no federal civilian position that is vacant at noon on January 20, 2025 may be filled, and no new position may be created except as otherwise provided for in this memorandum and other applicable laws. So basically, he locking it down again. Oh, and welcome to the channel. I'm sorry. In the spirit of it being really chilly and cold around here for federal employees, I'm bundled up. Plus, it's cold in my house, so I got my old lady action going on today. Anyway, so we're just looking at this, the hiring freeze, which again, another action that we had expected to come, and here it is. But I just kind of wanted to dive a little deeper into it in terms of what that means. So in general, we on pause again. We did this back in 2020. We did this back in 2017 when he took office then, and I think it lasted for a couple of months. This one I'm unclear. I think it's supposed to potentially go within 90 days to allow the OMB and the Doge to get some findings together and revisit it by then. But I wouldn't put past this hiring freeze being indefinite, at least for the term of the presidency, or at least further than it did back in 2017 when I think it only made it through April. It looks like we're going to be going down that road again, except this time around it looks like he's a little bit more defined in this go around of the hiring freeze. So basically, we got Doge, working with OMB, in 90 days for them to come up with some kind of efficiency improvements or ways for attrition. So basically, for me, my simplified understanding is this is to downsize the federal workforce by one of two ways: through retirement, attrition, through people going out voluntarily, or people going out voluntarily for their own personal reasons or dissatisfaction with all the restrictions of the DJT vice grip and company that's about to really, come upon us. And then the others are the people who can go out by retirement. Now, if that means buyouts and things like that, that would be great. I'm sure a lot of people who are eligible, because you have to be eligible for that, will take those. But I think that we're going to lose a lot of federal workforce through attrition by people leaving on their own accord, or leaving for their own personal reasons, because this grip's about to be tight. And this is just another start of it. So if you were in a position, if you're currently in a federal position and you were looking to get out or to move to another position, all of that's on lock. So I hope everybody is happy or content with where they're at, because you pretty much on lock with very limited exceptions, with very limited exceptions for movement.
Damn.
So, and another thing that I noticed about it was which I don't remember if they did this the last time in 2017, because if I recall, in that role that I was in, we did lean on our contracts for support. Here, it says contracting outside of the federal government to circumvent the intent of this memorandum is prohibited. So if you're thinking about jumping ship, trying to go to find a higher paying contracting position, or you're currently in a contracting role, before you leave or jump ship, I would just be concerned about the task orders on that contract, for how long they might be extended, if they'll be extended, and if you can even get hired in a contracting role that supports federal government positions, as our positions are stripped away. And let's see what else he talks about. The heads of agencies shall seek efficient use of existing personnel and funds to improve public services and the delivery of these goods. So that means the vice grip. Use what you got. Now, I get it. I'm in support of the assessment and evaluation of the fraud, the waste and abuse that's going on in the government. I think that's great. That should be done, because it never seems to get done. But then what comes of that? Whatever comes of it. So I kind of support the role. I just think myself and many other feds are going to get severely sideswiped by this attrition process. We're going to get squeezed to do more with less people and with less resources. And that's going to be rough. And I think that's designed to chase people out. That's a no-brainer right there. So this is talking about the memorandum does not limit the nomination of appointment officials. So yeah, any of the business that's going on in support of presidential nominees and Senate confirmations and certain Schedule A or Schedule C positions, those policy making positions, the important people. Yeah, those are all likely, there are exceptions for those, The rest of us common folk, soldiers on the line, on the chain gang, we don't matter.
Damn.
And so it just ends with the memorandum does not abrogate any collective bargaining agreement in effect of the date of this memorandum. So those of you that are in roles that are protected by collective bargaining agreements, the memorandum does not abrogate that. So the hiring freeze, my personal thoughts. I mean, we knew it was coming. Another thing that we knew that was coming, another vice grip, another way to attempt to downsize the federal workforce, to squeeze us, until we leave on our own or we're removed because we can't continue to commit to the new requirement, which is ties into reporting to work. So when feds think about hiring freeze, yes, we've been here before. We've been to the rodeo before, but we got a new, I don't want to say circus. We have a new ring of acts and hoops to jump through. And it's going to be a lot tougher. And, that's fine if this is what they want to do. But the sad thing to me is that I think they're going to lose a lot of good people, a lot of good historical knowledge and experience, just in frustrating certain individuals and staff who are very valuable to federal service off. And then I think they're going to eventually just get left with less valuable people and, who will be left to run the gutted government that you now have. I don't know how that's going to work. I hope it works the way that they're trying to make it work, but I'm not really sure that I foresee that. I wanted y'all to take a look at this Chief Human Capital Officers Council transmittal that goes further into detail about the hiring freeze. It gives a little bit more information. Let me download it. Just go to it. It gives a little bit more information about the hiring freeze guidance, a little bit more than the executive order puts out, or the president's action. It outlines the purpose of it, which we know what it is. Provides additional guidance regarding the freeze. directed by the president on January 20th. It gives directions to the heads of these agencies on how to move. It talks about the coverage and who all it covers. It covers all agencies under the executive branch of federal service. And it reiterates no vacant positions existing at 11:59 a.m. on January 20th, 2025 may be filled, and no new positions may be created except in a limited circumstances. Position is not considered vacant if an individual has been given an offer of an unemployment prior to noon on January 20th, 2025. And they have to start, if they've been given that offer, they have to have a start date by February 8th of 2025. So any start dates after that, the job offer is null and void. For those of you out there who have received a TJO or an FJO and you're starting before February 8th, you should be good. Keep in mind, each agency is going to might do its different thing, but here's the overarching guidance to all agencies. It says all positions that are not exempt from the hiring freeze must be unlisted from the usajobs.gov and any other websites that they're advertising on no later than January 21st. Today's January 21st. So I think probably by close of business, if they aren't already down, if you go to USA Jobs right now, it should be looking pretty light. And it goes on to talk about mandatory exemptions. Obviously, military personnel is exempt. Positions relating to immigration enforcement, national security, or public safety. What else is exempt? The nomination and appointment of officials to support the president's, agenda, of course, all those that I mentioned earlier. And they pretty much lock agency heads to consult with OPM in determining the scope and exam of each of these positions. So not only are they locking it down, they're requiring the agencies to say, okay, you have a list of exempted positions. Prove to us, what are they, and prove to us why they are, why they should be exempt. Let's see, other exemptions they're talking about. For the following exemptions, hiring of veterans may be prioritized. So I'm with that. We should always be looking out for our vets. So I'm definitely with that. And I'm not a veteran. I support veterans, and I thank you for your service. And I'm with that, with not putting that restriction on veterans. Let's see, other exemptions. Hiring of U.S. Postal Service, can't stop that. And they, from what I understand, always need the support they can get. But good luck if you're a federal employee that is scared and is going to go jump to Postal Service. Good luck with that. Let's see. Placement of persons with restoration rights. That makes sense. You serve folks that are people who are returning after serving military duty. Again, I always support military staff and veterans for that. I think that I totally agree with that. One exemption that I note that I see in this memo that I like is internal career ladder promotions. So there's still room for growth in this hiring freeze. I'm not really sure how that's going to work, because in one hand it says you can't fill any vacant positions, right? And you can't create any new positions to fill under this hiring freeze. Yet a position that is exempt is an internal career ladder promotion. And if I'm getting promoted into a position, it would have to be vacant for me to get promoted into it. I would get the promotion, but it just, that kind of didn't make sense to me. It's like, it's either you can move people into a vacant position or not. Off the break, it says no, but yet internal career ladder promotions. I don't know. Reallocation. So basically for non-competitive reassignments and details. And this is something that the rest of us who might be, just wondering about internal movements, if that's in details and things like that, temporary promotions or whatever. And that looks like that's still going to be a possibility, but it also looks like it's on and say case-by-case basis. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to still be heavily scrutinized, and that the agency will have to defend these realignments. But again, I don't know. It's just depends on the agency and how well the agency leadership is going to support the restrictions and the limitations of this hiring freeze regulation. Term and temporary appointments of existing federal employees may be extended up to the maximum allowable limit. So that's good. If you're in a term position, you can get extended under this. So that's good. The head of the agency may exempt any position that it deems necessary. It must meet national security, including foreign relation responsibilities, and meet public safety responsibilities that are not including essential activities to the extent that they protect life and property. So here's your national security, your law enforcement, and your public safety positions that are exempt. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out there. I have the link in the description of this memo, which dives a little deeper past the presidential executive order to give a little bit more insight into the hiring freeze that we're all under, or that the federal force is under. So I work in HR, and as effective yesterday, HR's, hands are cut. We can't fill or create any new vacant positions as of 12 p.m. on Monday, the January 20th. And we also have to cease posting and remove job opportunity announcements. Remove everything from USA Jobs. Give your agencies time, grace, and space to let you know what they know if they haven't already. Be graceful with your HR team, because a lot of stress and pressure there, and information that is coming in, and that we've got to turn around and get out. So just try to remember to be graceful there. For everyone, keep your resume, and your credentials updated, because the intent is to severely downsize the federal workforce. And we've been here before, but this is a different type of here. And so I would just recommend that you just be mindful of that, and just try to be as prepared as you can for changes that are coming, and just try to be as flexible as you can for changes that are coming. But most importantly, look after yourself. Do your own research the official sites. I would just also lastly recommend to all Fed family, if you haven't already, I'm sure you have, just make sure you get and maintain a copy of your latest SF50, your latest personal action form. Make sure you got all your logins and passwords to all your, your TSP, your My Page, your My EPP, whatever, make sure all those are updated, and that you can access everything, and just print you down a hard copy of your current file or items from your EOPF, which you feel might be pertinent. And we're just gonna continue on in this Hunger Games, and move forward, and take it day by day. So hiring freeze is on.
Damn.